Noswaith pawb. On Monday we celebrate our National Day, St David's Day, so I must begin this week by wishing you all a Dydd Gwyl Dewi hapus. I'd also like to use this opportunity to thank my wonderful Welsh teacher Jenny for helping me to learn this beautiful language. I'd also like to thank everyone across the island who's given me a chance to practice speaking in Welsh. Diolch yn fawr. The Welsh language and culture are precious, and as our National Day approaches, I want to remind everyone across our island that my determination to not only protect the language, but to help it to flourish, is central to everything that I do on your behalf as your Member of Parliament. I will not rest until it's no longer the case that so many young people do not need to move away, at such detriment to the local culture and viability of the Welsh language, to pursue a well-paid, highly skilled career. Our island is an island of vast economic potential, and I'm determined that this potential be unlocked. At the beginning of this month, I launched a Takeaway Heroes competition to look for Anglesea's favourite takeaway. Our takeaways and delivery drivers have really stepped up to the mark throughout this crisis. And whilst we've been in lockdown, they've been hard at work sticking to social distance guidelines whilst helping to keep us fed. Just imagine the last few months without that little bit of familiarity and comfort from takeaway fish and chips, a curry or a kebab. In just a few days, we had hundreds of votes from the communities across the island, with over 50 different establishments from all corners of Anglesey getting a mention. But however, I'm delighted to announce that the most voted takeaway on Anglesey was the Pilot House Cafe at Penmorn, run by Hayley Peace and Phil Russell. With 5-star reviews on TripAdvisor, the cafe has been offering a takeaway and delivery service throughout the recent lockdown and has clearly made a lot of people happy as a result. I look forward to meeting up with Hayley and Phil to congratulate them and maybe enjoy some of their acclaimed pizza. Congratulations to every takeaway that received a vote, and thank you to everyone who took the time to make a nomination. Over the past week, many of you will have read in the local press reports of the vile abuse, mainly online, that's been directed at me since I was elected as your Member of Parliament. Since being elected, I've had to report around 30 serious threats, abusive emails and social media posts to the police. It pains me that someone could be so consumed by hatred and anger that they would find it reasonable to send me this message. You're the perfect moral argument for an abortion. If you were black, you'd be the perfect moral argument for slavery. And if you were Jewish, you would be the perfect moral argument for Auschwitz. On Twitter, I was regularly called things like slag, so it didn't seem very healthy to remain on it. But this type of comment is also to be found on Facebook. On a lower level, my staff and myself suffer harassment type abuse, like someone signing up my office address for every university prospectus across the country. And earlier this month, I received a parcel with no postage. It had rocks in it, so the cost to retrieve it from the sorting office was high. This incident was also forwarded to the police. This is not an issue that just affects me. It affects many politicians across all parties. Diane Abbott, for example, suffers terrible levels of racist and sexist abuse, and other women politicians on Anglesey suffer too. I'm sadly not alone. Others in public life, like black footballers, suffer unacceptable racist abuse for not scoring when they apparently should have. So it's sadly everywhere. From my own view as a politician, this abuse is corroding the foundations of public life, especially for women, who bear much of the abuse for everything ranging from their politics to their looks, to deeply offensive and false accusations about their sexual conduct. In the 21st century, we would hope to move on, but the misogynists remain a powerful force. Abusers might not like Conservatives, but when they call me a slag, they're not expressing their political opposition, they're hating women, and this needs to be called out. I'm now calling on people across Ynys and throughout the United Kingdom to unite in standing up against these cowardly online trolls and against those who believe that abusing others is acceptable. I would like to appeal to everyone, but especially women on Ynys and those across the country, to stand together to confront this insidious abuse. Let's work together to make reporting and confronting abuse and even more normal than the abuse itself has become. We'll be doing this for ourselves, for our children, and really to ensure we have a voice in public life that is not barricaded with abuse. Whatever happens to me, I always keep faith in the innate kindness of the majority, especially here on our island. They may not have voted for me or agree with the Conservative Party, but they understand the democratic process, have respect for it, and they understand I want to do all that I can to help Ynys Môn without being subjected to hate and threats. It is an honour to be your Member of Parliament, and it is a privilege to be a member of this wonderful, kind and welcoming community. I wish you all a peaceful weekend and an enjoyable St David's Day on Monday. Diolch yn fawr.